A battle of biblical proportions. Truly is a battle of God or heaven versus hell. It's GODSENT versus the Raisers of Hell themselves. After one best of 3, they have to jump into another. Walk through the Space Soldiers in 2, and now we do have a full 3 potentially ahead of us. GODSENT have already worked so damn hard. That best of 3 versus Epsilon is one we will continue to remember for a while in the domestic affair versus their Swedish rivals Epsilon. And now it's intriguing because it is going to be Hellraisers versus GODSENT. And actually, arguably, coming into this, if you had to look at this on paper, with myself, of course, and Vendetta and Natu, we would have said GODSENT Hellraisers looks like the top 2, right? The top 2 contenders. But I don't think it's fair to say that this was an easy road for either of them. It doesn't. It hasn't been as crystal clear as we anticipated.
It would have been very nice if they could just cut out a soundbite of us saying, "Well, GODSENT Hellraisers 2 clear favorites for us," and then just kind of like disregard everything that happened in between. Because it definitely hasn't been easy. GODSENT has, been on the brink of elimination. Same thing goes for Hellraisers. So it's by no means just a afterthought that they're in this position right now, because one of these teams will qualify.
Well, we can summon the playoff bracket because it will help kind of digest exactly how hard it has been for them. We can see the battles that they have been through. Of course, getting to this position was hard enough, but a full 3 maps, as we talked about, Natu, that Epsilon GODSENT game, I'll let you kind of walk us through what we witnessed.
Madness is what we witnessed, wasn't it? I mean, it was what you said on cast. They were 2 frags away from basically 2-0 that game, but then going to the third, they were down 2-13, right? After first half. T-side, a horrible T-side at that. Basically did nothing except for dying 1 by 1. Then only to just come back into it and then overtime win it. Just pure madness.
And if you look at social media as well, Halvor, I know you're avid on the Twitter sphere. You keep kind of highlighting. It was Lecro who tweeted out again. What was his wording was so perfect to summarize it. Can you remember?
It was the.
Can you paraphrase?
Won the game against Epsilon.
Won, in air quotes. Just, it wasn't really.
You can't go away from that game feeling good about it.
No.
Even though, you have the cliche of saying, well, in the end, all that matters is the W. Sure. But at that point, you feel terrible about how you
Apparently, they tilted off from the surface of Earth from Cash.
Yeah.
Is what the word I heard from RDL.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, it is understandable. I suggested that they'd come up with some executes for Mirage,
that map,
and Cash as well for basically all the maps. And they were like, but we were kind of not there in our heads.
Yeah, and that's the same kind of vibe we got from JW in his post match, right? It was. We kind of weren't feeling in the momentum. We weren't there. Like, it's also these very sweeping statements of like not being in our game.
Yeah,
and it's not something we can measure on.
I feel like it's a very viable game plan they have, but it does demand that your players are in that flow state. They do right decisions. They hit their shots. It's a great game plan, but it needs to have some kind of a backup, which is those executes, set plays, something you go fall back to. And they were just refusing to go back to that kind of stuff, because I'm 100% sure they have some of that somewhere. I mean, they just boot camped. It makes sense. They went through some.
Before we talk about them any further, we should introduce the star-studded roster to you guys at home. It's GODSENT who'll be first to compete in this best of 3. An intimidating roster to any CSGO player and fan. However, haven't been able to kind of back that intimidation up with too many swift and convincing results. It's GODSENT first of all, of course. JW, who in his interview did shed a whole lot of light on that recent roster change, Natu, between Crims and Lecro. If you could summarize his thoughts towards the roster change, how would you do so?
It appears, even though they've had a long history together, that they just didn't click in this lineup with Crims for some reason, and they feel like they were more comfortable with Lecro. I guess in when it comes to roles and stuff, they kind of needed to have a guy who's more prone to be in that entry position, because it's something we've been highlighting here that they kind of missed on, that they haven't had that kind of entry power in that team. And so far we've seen glimpses of that from Lekro as well. So, could be a promise for better things to come for GODSENT.
Well, the one weird thing about it as well, like the difference between Crims and Lekro play similar sites in that sense, and on the T side, you mentioned the fact that GODSENT has been lacking that entry power for the better part of their lifetime. The thing is, like, during this tournament, Lekro has had those moments where he opened things up, but predominantly it's been JW actually has been finding a lot of these opening frags.
Yeah.
So
I'm not with or without AWP.
Predominantly with, but even I guess it's predominantly with the AWP. But it's weird though, because when you think about it, it doesn't seem like they've pushed Lekro into this position where they feel like, well, you have to enter. Like that's the only thing you're going to do for us.
Yeah.
So like hearing JW actually saying that in the interview, that something didn't click with Crims, when it doesn't seem like he's like the role Lekro has right now strays that far off from what Crims would do, is strange.
Sure, it has been unusual. There's no doubt about it. And Hellraisers, they have been facing similar woes, despite of course looking relatively good versus Space Soldiers. It was not necessarily as easy to start things off in the best of one. We're going to go ahead and have a quick look at Hellraisers before we discuss them further. It's Hellraisers that will be going up against them. A mixture of household names and many different flags as well. Of course, recently adding a Hungarian to the mix in the form of Dead Fox there with his arms crossed behind Angel. It's, of course, Bondik, who's probably the more recognizable name alongside Angel. These two kind of old guard of CSGO with some, I would describe as new talent. However, you shake your head when I say new talent for Zero and Sticker.
I guess it's new talent depending on how well you know the scene, right?
Yeah.
That's really, for a lot of the viewers, obviously, it's going to be newer talent. That's no discussion about it. But Stico and Zero, for instance, they have been around for a long time before they kind of rose to prominence and actually become, somewhat of a household name in that sense. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say they're new talents.
Not in the same way as this man on your screen. Lekro is a much different story.
Yeah, he had a bit of a more of like a explosive entry to the scene. Really, he came. He basically played with Public Clear and not really a name that rings a lot of bells for a lot of people. And he went from there pretty much to playing with GODSENT.
And
obviously,
Fnatic.
GODSENT, and obviously doing extremely well at DreamHack, and went on to Fnatic, and now back in GODSENT again. So he's had a pretty turbulent rise to the top of CS.
Yeah. That doesn't seem like something that happens almost ever, Natu, the Lekro story.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a testament that we have more tools nowadays for people to surface, right? Like the FPLs and all that kind of stuff where you get to play with top players. And, I think it was Pronax that spotted
I think it was Twist, actually.
Well, one of the two, anyway.
Some guy.
Some Swedish guy with a lot of CS.
I think Olaf as well was one of the I'm just going to start listening.
Regardless, doesn't matter who it was.
Everyone saw him.
Point is that there's a lot of more means to be able to be visible for people to spot you out, basically. I think this guy, didn't Lekro have his tournament debut this year as well?
DreamHack.
Yeah. No, but he went to
something smaller.
Yeah,
prior to Malmo
Inferno
Masters.
Online thing, Pantamera thing was the first thing he did. I think that's what Ancients. They were Ancients, and they won that in February. I want to say this year. But still, it's been, getting to the limelight rather quickly.
365 days, and you go from playing in a team that not many people would know to not only, acquiring yourself a handful of Twitter followers, but also going into the limelight, playing for such a prestigious house name like Fnatic, alongside major winners. That is the rise that I think people will remember.
Yeah, and a heck of a pistol player, has to be said.
Yeah, no, definitely. Just a heck of a player, just in general.
Haven't you put Schneider in a similar pistol category as well, Halford? You keep talking about that, and he's on screens now.
Yeah, and he's been very good at this event, particularly in the pistol rounds, and that's actually one of the things that's been very big for GODSENT, especially when you see how close these games end up being. The fact that they're constantly able to win pistols is obviously a massive strength for them, and they're the ones themselves that go back to the fact that, well, we need confidence to play our A game and all of this stuff, and winning a pistol, you can't get off to a better start than that. And they've been doing a good job of not messing up anti-ecos either. So, Schneider's been a big catalyst for them to get off to those good starts that put them in a good position that should build confidence.
In the interview prior to this, we saw the coach of Hellraisers talking about kind of pre-match rituals. The same kind of question was directed towards JW, and it seems like already we're seeing a very different approach from either. He's sitting there watching frag movies of Kenny S and Shocks, and in the meantime, you can see Hellraisers gathered around Angel's monitor. And I can't help but wonder, Natu, could you shed some light on what's going on the Hellraiser side of things? This is the second time we've seen them gathered around, big huddle, and Angel calling the shots.
Probably going through the first map.
Okay.
Specific stuff. If there's like a specific space around they want to run, going through what smoke, who's going to throw what, or the first weapon round and stuff like that.
Just basically, this is how map 1 will look, or even maybe shedding some light on okay, GODSENT did this. Presuming
that's also an option,
or just please don't forget this in the first round.
Yeah, throw this smoke. You stand here and you throw
there.
Absolutely.
The other thing is just him specifically going through positions that the GODSENT players like to hit B on certain bomb sites and all that kind of jazz. So.
Well, I mean, we talk about the first map. We have to know what it is, first of all. So let's start that veto process. They are now up on our screens. Boom. Okay. Talking of boom, no nuke and no dust 2 either. Halvor, GODSENT taking train for the 3rd time.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before we went on air, the fact that we saw the vetoes playing out as they did. Pretty much the only question was whether or not GODSENT was going to remove nuke or leave cobblestone open.
Yeah.
Obviously, they opted with nuke and going to get their metal tested really on the second map. But for me, I was expecting Mirage to come out of GODSENT simply because just over time that's been their best map. And I guess they're deciding to go with Train because that's the map that's actually been the best for them at this tournament, which makes sense.
Current form.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to, I guess, especially because it's not just a one-off for them either. They've actually had success on Train every time they've gone to it so far.
Yeah, no, big picture. Train hasn't beat a map. Hellraisers has been always super comfortable on. Even though this tournament they beat Heroic in the elimination match pretty convincingly against a team that's pretty prominent on Train. So that's positive signs for Hellraisers.
Okay, and if we were to reflect upon GODSENT's Train, was there anything that stood out? Was there anything that they were doing particularly well? Yes, they've had success in this tournament, but I mean, you guys are both kind of shrugging your shoulders and thinking, really.
I think their Train game versus LDLC in their best of 3, that's the one we have to look at the most at, because that's where you see more or less the potential of GODSENT coming.
That was that was them overwhelming their opponent a lot of the time.
Right. Super high tempo, playing very similar to how Fnatic used to play it back in 2015. Just very quick presence out on yard, not really setting up for a lot of execution, that type of thing, but just exuding your individual skill. And putting CTs in a really uncomfortable position where they have to rely on having extremely steady communication, rotations on point, and actually making sure that the CTs work as a cohesive unit, which is not very easy on a CT side all of the time. So
let's put it this way: you're not going to see a lot of set smokes coming in from T spawn and then them running out. Instead, you're going to see them send Schneider out of team main to quad, try to lurk around there, maybe get a cheeky entry kill, and that would enable everyone else to just cram out of pop and alley and try to overwhelm the CTs and that kind of stuff. Or they'll go for a pick from alley, they'll throw smoke left or right side, try to creep one up there. Pronex a lot of the time, they'll flash him out, he'll try to get a kill to quad or the bomb side, and then again, that's going to enable people to just come out of multiple angles. So it is kind of the game plan altogether for GODSENT.
Now, we most recently saw a discussion about Hellraisers and a very passive CT approach. Now, Train, I assume, is very different to Cobblestone in terms of CT aggression. There's much more that you can implement. So my question to you is will Hellraisers be bringing the fight to GODSENT on their defensive side?
I think it's dependent on, not necessarily. It depends on, obviously, if you find a recipe that works for you, right?
Yeah.
So, and also depending on what kind of GODSENT we're going to see. If we're going to see a GODSENT that actually slows down the tempo, like we've seen in the last Train game they played versus Epsilon, where they kind of got bogged down, then you don't necessarily have to play especially aggressive if you're Hellraisers. If your standard passive default works out, then go with it until it breaks.
Right.
But they definitely have things up their sleeve, and we do know that Angel likes to go on a bit of a walk around the map, just do some sightseeing, and eventually end up in enemy territory.
Oh, it's so cool. We have Angel going up against GODSENT from Hellraisers. This is genuinely just so much biblical vocabulary for the casters to use a little later on. We'll be meeting them in just a moment, but first we have to do our predictions. Natu, the best of 3, what are you saying? I'm sorry, I have to.
I'm literally going to cry. So which Hellraisers and which GODSENT are we going to see here? That's the first question.
I wish I had a coin. We could totally flip it.
Yeah, this is one of those games. Would you agree, Halvar? I think this is like...
I'm sorry, there isn't a coin toss graphic here. You have to say one.
Yeah, no, actually, the thing that kind of leans me towards one of the teams, which is GODSENT, is the third map, which I didn't really talk too much about.
Yeah,
And that's the fact that Hellraisers decided to remove Mirage in order to play Overpass, which has been more or less one of their common vetoes.
True.
Yeah.
So that surprises me. I'm not sure if they saw some. Well, everybody will have probably seen some errors in the way GODSENT plays Overpass too, but it's still surprising to me. And I've seen them do this initially when they started breaking out Nuke as well as their map pick. They fell into that trap of feeling overconfident about something new that they'd figured out. So that leaves me a bit worried for Hellraisers. So I'm going to side with GODSENT, but it's going to take all 3 maps.
Yeah, I think 3 maps is definitely in order right now. I think that's going to happen.
Okay.
Train definitely going to go GODSENT's way because it's one of those maps you kind of need to play a lot to get a good feel for it. And we've seen enough evidence from GODSENT that they can definitely play and rack up that. Even with a pistol round racking up 6 rounds, that's going to be enough for them to scrape through the map. And then... going to the second map, it was Cobble, yeah. Well, that's when things get dicey. So yeah, it's gonna go all 3.
Going all 3, but give me a name.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be GODSENT in the end, though. They're gonna be better in Overpass for sure.
You guys have every single time we've seen GODSENT, you predicted towards GODSENT. I think it's just evident that there is so much belief and faith in this roster, and
You're going to have to go against us.
Going to have to go against you. Yeah, sure. Hellraisers, let's do it. I believe in a thing called love, and I also believe in Hellraisers picking this one up just because I like their logo and I want to put it on my red line AK if they get to the major. There you go. It's a long way to go, but they've got to win this first. Yeah. That's it. That's just how things go. That's how Alex does the predictions. And also, I like to be with the minority of the community. Did we get it again? I'm so good at this. Yeah, 35% says Hellraisers.
It's like a surprise. Like, I never saw this coming,
guys. Yeah, it does look like GODSENT have got the community. Definitely got the community hearts going. And what is that? Oh, it's changed. Oh, it's updated. 79 to 21. Okay, Hellraisers are. Oh, excuse me, that was Twitter and Twitch. So Twitch is a little bit more of a GODSENT fanboy than Twitter. All right. Well, with all of that said, let's get 2 people up that do have Twitter accounts. That's the worst segue I've ever used. It's Blue and it's Risk. How you doing, boys?
Doing all right.
Yeah, all right. Have you ironed your shirt yet, Blue? No?
The shirt does not want to be ironed.
No?
I literally sat for like 20 minutes trying to iron the front of the shirt so I could put a jacket on and then just ignore the rest of it, and I couldn't even get the front done, so I just said screw the rest of the shirt.
Don't go telling them our caster secrets about only ironing the front. That is private information. Risk, however, you're looking dapper, sir.
Thank you, likewise. And yeah, looking forward to this game. This is going to be absolutely insane because we have 2 teams, of course, the first one being GODSENT with the individual talent. On the other side, we do have Hellraisers with all the team play, all the strategy, and the coach and John just helping them out so much.
Yeah, well, we'll leave it to you guys. You can have a discussion about amongst yourselves.
Oh, thank you very much, Machine. So we are getting prepped to jump into our first match off. Predictions, however, for you, who do you see actually taking this one in the full best of 3?
I'm feeling just like now today. I'm having such a hard time because it's obviously going to go to 3 maps, but who I'm going to pick for the third one, it's going to be... I'm going to side with Machine again and go for Hellraisers. I think they're going to punch their ticket and go to the major, but it's going to be 3 maps, surely.
Well, it'll be an interesting one if that should happen, but I am actually going in the other direction here. I still feel like the overall experience and now hopefully the momentum that we see rolling up behind GODSENT is going to work out for them. But we will find out as it is time to jump into this map here now. The live on 3 has just been signaled. GODSENT are going to be starting off on the T side, and Hellraisers will jump onto the CT side. Our first map in this best of 3 is getting started now.
This is going to be interesting. GODSENT on the T side. Want to get some momentum early on this train side. So basically, they're going to just go for a quick push, a dry push with no flashes, no Molotovs, and no smokes. So this is going to be interesting for them. JW, as per usual, going down towards back alley. The rest of the team just spreading out. And Maybe this is going to be the famous split towards A. Not looking like it right now, but this could just be a fake towards in and then rotate back into A.
Zero, though, is going to spot a lot of these players peeking out into the open there, throwing the nade up, but unfortunately having to adjust his position so he doesn't die. Ends up whiffing the nade quite a bit there, but Angel, a one-tap against JW, tries to go aggressively out from Ivy. That fails miserably, and it's denied by the player from Hellraiser now. More of them pushing into the bomb site here. Stiko looking for his first pickup, not going to be able to find it, unfortunately, and brought down to 72 HP, but the rest of the team has arrived. Bondnik picking up one, Schneider with the trade, and Flusha allowed to push for free here into the open, even spotting a second player up top, but he's surrounded now, and it'll be the last man to go down. Hellraisers pull off the retake, and they will pick up things here on the pistol.
One thing to note as well is that Schneider has put his hoodie on. So he's definitely going to top frag now.
Very important detail there. So Darth Schneider has been activated.
Statistically, every time he puts it on, he top frags, or almost top frags. So that's, of course, a reason to cheer for GODSENT as well. But yeah, it's going to be Hellraisers to pick up that pistol. Very solid play from them. Love the push from Angel as well, going very aggressively when he doesn't really see anything, any aggression coming out from the T's towards that A-bomb side. He just walks in and one-taps JW as he is in mid-rotation. So GODSENT bind down to 250 all over the map. That means 5 smokes coming in for them, so this could be the wall of smokes towards that A-bomb side and then just going for the plan, and I think that's going to be exactly it coming out of GODSENT now.
Prepare for it here on the second round, of course, but overall just trying to see if they can get themselves that extra plant, causing as much chaos onto the site as possible. Hellraiser's not going to try to push into it, they will let them flush out, and Bondnik specifically working his way up on top there to try and counter out some more of the movements here. Stiko wrapping up from the backside, though he's going to catch some of these players in the flank. 1, 2, now 3 kills already being found for the guys here on Hellraisers. The 4th picked up. Tornax will be able to actually find that plant, but just barely. A second or two later, or earlier I should say, and they would not have been able to get that on the ground, and the overall goal of this round for GODSENT would have actually been a failure.
Yeah, but he does get it down in the end, and that's going to ensure the money, so looking quite good for them compared to the fact that they just lost 2 rounds, but GODSENT, of course, not really looking at this round as one they need to win. They're looking into the first buy round as the serious place where they're going to put all their time and all their effort and all their headshots.
But again, as we get into that third round, you can see the buy from GODSENT is going to be quite impressive, actually, here. Full investment with all AKs and full utility for most of these guys, too. Just a little bit missing, of course, as you would expect since it's on the third round, but some of the Hellraisers playing is working with SMGs. We have the 2 FAMASs in check still, so they have a little bit of an advantage considering that, but they certainly, of course, are going to be expecting the investment with how light the buy was from GODSENT in that last round.
And Flosser just usually throwing the smoke out. He's done this 4 or 5 times in a row when they are going for this outer split, and it's going to be the same thing now, just blocking off some of the CT's. Dead Fox just caught behind that train right now as the terrorists are trying to edge their way in, and it's going to be Angel to start things off.
He's gotten his first kill there. More of them on the way from GODSENT, though, as they push into the outer site, and there's a nice pickup from Pronax there. Just barely manages to survive the encounter, but he does get the frag, and now Dead Fox still trying to make the best of the situation, which they're very quickly kind of losing control of. Well, he also waits for Zero to kind of rotate in from Z2. Unfortunately, Zero is not going to be able to find much with that SMG from that position. He'll go double back, actually. And I think Lekro should have been able to hear this. So if he's going to bite on that one, then he'll know that things were cleared out from the Z position, but it's taken very slowly, and there's good reason behind that. Schneider, after a bit of a delay there, finally manages to take down Dead Fox. We see the plant coming in from Pronax. Zero is going to attempt to flank about this, but the 1v3 that he now has in front of him is going to be very difficult to do, along with having no kit as well. It's looking a bit futile, to be honest, and I think he's made a last-moment decision to fall back and save.
And with the utility he has on him as well, this is a lot of money thrown away. This is not just a UMP-45, because you can afford to throw that away. But you also have the Molotov, the 2 flashbangs. He doesn't have any kit, but he has full armor as well. So this is the wise choice from Syrah. He plays that one as he probably should be, and doesn't take any chances. It's of course always sad when you get a player down to 3 HP and can't really capitalize on getting that kill in the end, but nonetheless, it's going to be GODSENT picking up their first round here after a buy. First buy round here, and after that bomb plant in the Wall of Smokes round. So here we go into the next one. It's going to be Hellraisers on the back foot economically.
Like we're not getting the spot onto him either, so he had an opportunity there, but we can see again Schneider kind of starts us off. Pronax getting this very important kill. If this goes in the other direction, this is certainly a round that Hellraisers could have, in theory, been able to close out. It buys more time, of course, for that player in Z to rotate in. Allows the one guy back over there on the short lane, Cubby, to be able to hold himself alive for a little bit longer. He just swings it the other way, but thankfully Pronax gets that crucial kill on it. Allows the guys on GODSENT to be able to win the round there. pick up the first gun round in their favor. Now, of course, they go right back into the default split here. They'll be pressuring over to the backside. Actually, Dead Fox fully committing through a Molotov. Loses quite a lot of his health from that one, and GODSENT are still going to be keeping their eyes on it, so he may lose his life in a moment if he peeks at the wrong time. It works out for him, and he actually takes down Flusha too, so he's able to grab that kill and now fall back deeper into the bomb site.
Yeah, and also to note is that Stuko's gone down to 8 HP from a nade, I think that was, from one of the T players. JW on 6 as well, so a lot of people hurt in this round, and we still have 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in this one. And yeah, Bondig on 41 as well on that SMG, so it's going to be interesting where GODSENT want to push. They do have Snyder already inside, and Pronax making his way down at Ivy, so different positions. The bomb is going towards inside though, so that it could be the fake from Pronax.
And Schneider himself, along with quite a few of the other guys on GODSENT, still sit on the cusp of the B push, yet to really commit to anything, with Pronax also having his potential push lineup for Ivy. That won't come in until the actual hit starts though, and again, relying a lot on Zero to hold this, grabs the first kill, an immediate trade from Schneider, and now they are really at the mercy of this op sitting in the backside here. Dead Fox, unfortunately, not going to be able to find any of the GODSENT players as they move in. He chooses safety over frags, as they still have a 43 advantage, but it's a bit dodgy, so I'll wait for these guys to overstep their bounds. He's got that one, and oh, come on, take that shot. You've got it lined up. That smoke's got to be a little bit sketchy. They don't seem to think anything of it, though, and that's a mistake, because now Schneider, he's going to be able to push out and grab 2 kills from it. Only 2 more to go, and he still has support from Pronax that's over there on upper, too. So the guys from Hellraisers suddenly up against the wall here. Bondic doing some good damage. They found that kill, and now very limited on time. Pronax has rounded around the backside here, but he's got a perfect angle to stop this defuse. Goes up, grabs that kill. Stiko trades, but there's no time left anymore. This round's going to GODSENT, and they'll claim it and immediately tie the game up.
I was initially worried that the rotate from Pronax was going to be too late and all the terrorists would get killed, but he arrives at the exact perfect time to get that kill in, to kill the diffuser and then just run the timeout. So perfectly played by Pronax. Understands how to work that timer perfectly, and of course you wouldn't expect anything less from a guy like him.
Yeah, and with that, obviously the big clutch comes in. Pronax, everybody worried about his performance, but so far actually showing up to a pretty large degree with some big impact frags here, keeping GODSENT in this game, and obviously allowing them to have the potential to take the lead off of this round with Hellraisers being forced down to an eco.
Yeah, we do have the C-75 from Zero, but he is the only guy who has pretty much any chance of doing anything. C-75 close range is pretty good and can match up against an AK. The rest of the team is not looking very good with the P250s and USBSs. And there goes Snide. He just goes straight out, goes for the frag, gets another one, goes for the third as well. And well, he's on 3 HP, so he's going to chill a bit for now. But this round is pretty much over. There's not much they can do. Snyder does pick up the triple.
Yeah, Angel will wrap himself in from the B site, but there is not a whole lot of bounty to be gained in doing this here, as GODSENT are in full control of the scenario, and I think JW is even going to move out just to look for him here in a second. He's found him, taking the shot, actually missed, and Angel almost got the chance to eliminate JW, but allows him to get back behind cover, so we're not going to see the kill succeed. And more flashbangs, they want to send to the back to buy time for Pronax to move in and look for this final kill to allow GODSENT to officially take the lead here.
So, Angel just hoping for the best here. Hoping for someone to peek him and hoping for the P250 to find its target. But it's not going to happen after that initial battle. The GODSENT players are going to rotate back and save their weapons from that bomb blast and just making sure that they survive. Angel's just trying his best to find anything, but it's just not happening. And there we go. GODSENT take the lead 3-2 here on the T side of the E train.
So, and off of this one, we'll have to see Hellraisers, of course, investing again, but the defense has been trading back and forth. GODSENT actually looking really good again, specifically with these entries and whatnot, where they are finding their stride. Hellraisers are not really shy to play things out aggressively, but I feel like that is the problem. You're playing into the playstyle from GODSENT, where they wait on the outer edges of the bomb site for you to push directly into them. And so long as Hellraisers continue to do that, that is where GODSENT is going to be able to consistently net those 1 to 2 additional kills, which they'll get the advantage and then will allow them to have a much easier time of actually getting into the site to win those rounds.
Here we go, from Hellraisers, Famas on Stiko. Flusha here, about to battle with Angel, who's been locked down right now by the Molotov, but here we go, Angel, it's time, but no, Flusha just shuts him down completely. That's going to be the frag going his way. Dead Fox trying his best as well. Zero coming in with a frag also, but now it's a 3v2 situation. The bomb is still dropped on the back on that B bomb site, but getting to the side now.
Stiko sitting himself in the backside there too. his way around for this one. Bond's got a huge flank opening up there. First kill, almost gets the second one, and that would have been the end of it, but he's got the intel, so Stiko is going to immediately be able to capitalize and grab the first kill. JW, however, just picked up one of his down teammates' Molotovs, and he's got upper control.
Yeah.
Stiko has no smoke to get that off of the ground either, so JW basically has the perfect clutch scenario. Stiko's going to have to go aggressively here and try to wrap around, but even JW is ready. Now when the Molotov goes in, he actually doesn't spot it. The Molotov has already gone down onto the floor, though, and like mentioned previously, there's no smoke to counter, but it may have been thrown just a little bit early. He's going to dip onto this, and this is going to be a close one here. It may miss it by just a second or two, and we're going to find out now. No, it actually looks like he's got it. So, Stiko picking it up there, and Hellraisers tie it up again.
Really glad that Stiko kind of analyzed that situation and found out, okay, the only way I'm going to win this round is if I wrap around behind him and get the kill, because there's just no way he can just jiggle peek from that position. He has a Molotov as well, surely, or something like that. So I'm not going to win that. I have to go for the kill first, which is a ballsy move considering he doesn't have a kit, but it works out for him in the end. Great play by him, and Hellraisers tie us up 3-3.
But GODSENT still have enough cash flow to buy in again, so they go right back up into it. JW with the op and everything else included here. And we'll see if they adapt the strat at all here. Been favoring inner hits this time, but they've been no strangers to deploying themselves into just these default A hits too.
Oh, Dead Fox inches away from being killed this early in the round, but look at that Pronax just running out and just getting the kills. This is the Pronax that we want to see, an aggressive one, and getting that second, that refrag coming in from Lekro, helping out Pronax, of course, punishing the guy who killed him. Now it's a 3v4. 4 players remaining on that T side. Angel has to find a kill now, and he does so. Lekro goes down. Bondig as well with 1. So now it's a 3v2 in favor of the CTs all of a sudden, but HP's not looking good.
No, not at all. JW along with Schneider here. Still going to have to try and find their appropriate way to really get control of the bomb site. Hellraisers are starting to spread out a little bit. The good news is this is actually working out for them, since Hellraisers aren't really focusing on the site as much. I think they may have cleared it out here, but that would be a mistake. Schneider is still very much in the bomb site, and Angel, that wall wasn't there. He did have a perfect opportunity to take down JW as he slowly lurks in there towards Ivy. Angel himself not wanting to go for the full-on push into that one, but Schneider creeping in, gets his first kill against Angel here, taking him out of the equation. Opens up another doorway for the bomb to get over to the train itself, and Bondik wrapping around. He may just be detected by Schneider. He's still got a health advantage. He spotted the rifle early on, and Bondik looking at the complete wrong position there to be able to punish that. Gets that one, and then just wraps back into T-Con, and finds the last player, too. Perfectly played from Schneider, and he gets the big clutch for GODSENT. Put them back in control.
Absolutely perfect getting that one and just zoning out the enemy players and finding them one by one and getting the frags and helping his teammate win that round. Technically, JW didn't really do much apart from basically zoning out all the CT players. It was all on Snyder and his AK-47. He brought that one home for the team. 4-3 for GODSENT over Hellraisers, who now will be put on a complete eco almost here. A couple of P250s and 1 or 2 Deagles. That is it for them.
Well, for GODSENT now, pushing their way over out onto the A-bomb site. We can see Dead Fox taking a very long-range kill up close. Bonded with another one, too. This should not be happening right now. Pronax and the rest of the team need to try and bring things back down to reality, but Angel, with those Deagle shots, he's going to bring it right back into fantasy. That drops Pronax. JW with another response. It goes into a 2v2. Finally, though, Hellraisers are losing their stride, but no, just as I say that, Stiko gets another kill onto Lekro. It's fallen to JW now. The pacing is slowed down significantly, but no, JW right into the crosshairs of Stiko. He's going to find another Deagle kill, and Hellraisers on a full eco steal it away from GODSENT.
That was absolutely magnificent from Hellraisers, really utilizing their pistols in a perfect way. It all started with Dead Fox just getting a bunch of damage down with his USPS, even getting the first frag with a USPS against an AK long range. How's that even supposed to happen? He also does get extra damage and allows the rest of his team to bring the Deagles in, to bring the P250s in, and definitely those last 2 Deagle frags. Absolutely insane. And now it's GODSENT who are in a tough economic position with Deagles, Tech 9s, only 2 AKs, and lacking some utility on these players.
The rest of GODSENT, again, right back into it, and they're not going to take that one lightly. They force buying into this next round here. It's not looking that great, granted, but 2 AKs to work with, decent amount of utility, and everybody creeping up into the box halls now to go for an execute on B. But Hellraisers already have 2 of their players here. We need to see more consistency from Zero and the guys that are initially defending the B site, though, because GODSENT have still been able to make their entries pretty nicely. We're relying on the rotators for the retakes here a little bit too heavily, and as they move in there, they're spotted. 1 pickup with a response from Schneider. Angel's not going to be able to get himself in the open again too soon, but when he does, Schneider handles that one too, tapping away with these headshots. Schneider, 3 back-to-back-to-back. Shuts down every single player on Hellraisers in this bomb site, and I think that's going to be a save call.
Yeah, definitely. Great play by GODSENT there, getting that bomb down and just taking the side. And once again, it's Snyder with the 3K. He's absolutely beasting right now on this GODSENT T side. Just getting frags left, right, and center. And will also survive in this round and bring 3 AKs, or 2 AKs and 1 M4, and then 1 Tech 9 as well. So Pronax, of course, with that Tech 9 is looking to find any of these CTs. He can throw that Tech 9 away, that's fine, but if he can grab an M4, that will be such a huge difference, and it will be the case. There we go. Will he survive, though? Ooh, yes, he will. So Dead Fox will save that 1 AWP. GODSENT clearly coming out. That's the big winners of this round.
Wrapping himself into the corner there. Keeps the op alive, but that is the only thing Hellraisers is going to have. And yeah, an immediate pause is needed there from Hellraisers after dropping that round so quickly. GODSENT just pushed right into it. And, I mean, obviously Schneider is the highlight for that last round there. Just single-handedly dominates the entire play. And, yeah, that's certainly showing from the graphs currently. 15 and 5 for him. The next highest teammate is, I believe, Pronax down at 6 and 6.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane from Snyder. This is almost like opposite world where Snyder and Pronax are the one doing the top fragging. Lekko, JW, and Flusher just sitting way down. Especially Flusher, who has been that consistent player for GODSENT throughout this tournament. He's the one sitting at 2 frags, and that's fine. That's fine. That's great for the others to take some of the load and carry the team. And Snyder once again just beasting. Surely Flossie though will get a couple of kills as this round or as its map progresses further on.
Inquisitive look. Oh, as the guys from Hellraisers trying to figure out what's going on. Not like this.
Not like this, guys. Dead Fox, of course.
Actually, that's more of a fail fish.
Dead Fox with the AWP going for the aggressive peek towards Ali. But he's not really going to find anyone because all the terrorist players from GODSENT are rotating, or not rotating, are going towards this inner B bomb side, where we currently have Angel and Zero playing close range with the pistols. Definitely that CSET 75 is going to be interesting to see. He's on the ladder right now, if I'm not mistaken, and GODSENT is just moving in.
And GODSENT again preparing to execute on that B-bomb site where Schneider just styled on everybody from Hellraisers in that last one. Angel, though, knocking one of these guys out of the sky. There's 2 of them here ready to defend. Zero picking up the kills. Angel still fragging out as well, but Flusha pushing in. He's going to try to bring this back into the direction. Leaping in, actually misses that jump, so can't get the kill onto Bondic, and Bondic gets the immediate headshot. Pronax responds. We're down to a 1v1, but there's the up from Dead Fox, and it ends the round. Hellraisers right back into it now, 5-5.
Just have to say, like, Dead Fox once again keeps impressing me. He is so solid. He hits the shot that every shot he takes, he almost hits it. But he's not taking hard shot, but he's so consistent with his AWPing, and that's, I think, really what Hellraisers need is an AWPer they can trust that he's going to come out on top on every single battle that he takes. Right now, of course, they're a bit strapped for cash on the Hellraisers side. They are tied 5-5. But on the other hand, GODSENT, Deagle and Lekro, that's all for him. And utility is missing on that T side.
Again, they're not really going to do anything fantastic on GODSENT, just sending most of their players through those white halls, leading over to the back of the B-bomb site. I don't actually think the XQ is going to head into B this time. They've had enough of that, and Hellraisers have been able to counter this out very, very nicely. As we can see, just going for your standard play into the A-bomb site too. 3 in through the ladder room, and 2 more working their way out of T-Con. JW holds, he's blind, but still manages to hear Sneeko creeping up onto him there. Bondic on the bomb train though. He'll be able to respond to this one, but more pressure is on its way. He's not prepared for it. He goes down. Schneider up on top. Rocking up another one against Angel. It's down to Zero and Dead Fox. Dead Fox the only one in the site too. Zero having to rotate all the way over from B, and the positions are just really not great for them to be able to actually pull off this 2v4. We've seen more impossible things accomplished here though at the PGL studio, so certainly wouldn't call this one yet.
Let's see here, Dead Fox. Can he take even more terrorists down for his team? Goes for the first one. Flusher is down now, and second guy low on HP on that train, but yeah, it's not going to be feasible. Dead Fox once again is going to go to his second home, which is down here at Alley, where he's constantly saving these orbs, and he'll try once more.
They're going to challenge him too. No, they got him to 28 HP. This is rough now. The smoke's going to get in the way. The flashbang fall. He's just trying to run and survive too. Duck down. Hope you don't get shot. They knew he went back, and no! At the last possible second, Pronax finds the bullet. That takes out Dead Fox, so no op saved, and again, Hellraisers are broken here.
Definitely broken. Only a couple of these guys can afford to buy a 5.7 or a Deagle, and you have Zero on $1,500. So he's going to be struggling to buy even an okay weapon in the next round, despite him doing a full eco here. And of course, GODSENT on the other way around. Flusher, he knows, okay, this round I don't actually have to force all my way into an AK, and I can actually run a UMP 45 and get that utility as well, because I'm going to be up against pistols.
JW again, starting things off with the entry now over here on the outer bomb site. Not to get behind that train, almost cost him his life. Schneider also getting a touchdown there in the midst of it too. The Kobe kill against Dead Fox. It's just Angel and Zero here. Okay. Angel continuing to get these crazy long-range USB headshots. Down goes JW after really paving the way for his team. Unfortunately, now the final two locations are revealed. They've lit the hell out of Zero. And for Angel, he may be able to try and sneak back in the other way, but yeah, certainly not going to be impacting here. It's another one for GODSENT. Finally, some consistency on one of these teams.
Yeah, definitely.
As we have a team that's finally going to be able to pick up 2 rounds in a row.
So Angel with 1 frag already on his conscience is going to see if he can get any entries or exits with this USPS, but it's not looking like it right now. He's going to go and try, but no, Snyder shuts him down once again. Double kill from Snyder in this round also. He's just being so consistent with the AK right now, Snyder.
Crazy with the headshot specifically there, too.
Yes.
The accuracy's been extremely on point for Schneider. But again, things will be tested, of course. Hellraisers going on to another buy round here. And it should be in pretty good status, too. The FAMAS downgrades are not that big of a deal. They've got still like utility and wanted to try and use theirs, as long as they are able to properly place that and control the initial hit from GODSENT. And I imagine they can still actually counter out the hit itself with the FAMASs.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I would much rather have FAMAS and full utility than M4 and 2 flashbangs, for example. And Angel will show why the M4 is such a great weapon as he takes down Snyder, the main man so far from GODSENT. So this could be a great start for Hellraisers with Snyder now out of the picture. Angel, once again, he's just so on point with these M4, A4 frags, or A1 frags. Lecro with another one, and just Angel, he cannot be stopped right now.
Angel finding that kill, and now sitting back behind there. The Molotov is actually going to send him out into the open. Flusha capitalizes on that, takes him out. But still only 2 up and running for GODSENT, and there are flanks enabled. So there you have it. Stiko takes down Flusha, and Pronax is now basically wedged between a rock and a hard place here. He's actually got a decent enough position there, he had one anyway, to be able to go for the plant, but it seems like he's going to try to sneak away from the site. Possibility to wrap over there through CT and then try to take this over to the B-bomb site is there too, but no, just checking over here towards Ivy. He gets good eyes on the short lane and whatnot. Somewhat unexpected, but still not catching any of these CTs. So very little info gained here by Pronax.
So Pronax now has, of course, gone for the fake here. Did not decide, or technically the double fake, did not decide to go over that B plan. He's planning on A now, and all the CTs are just far, far away. He has Molotov as well. So this is doable for him.
The time he waited, though, Zero ended up going back into the site, and he has to take all this time to confirm that it's actually not being played right. So he moves in, catches Zero with a nade out. However, he just got smoked out, too. But he's got a Molotov to toss over on top of it, and they don't have any smokes anymore to get it off. He's bought so much time for himself, and he would hear if that got smoked out there. They're going to try to jump in, and we can see Dead Fox taking the damage from it, but now the flashbang comes in. He's completely blind from it, and the push from Dead Fox is going to close things down. There's still enough time for that defuse, despite neither of them having kits. Hellraisers will be picking up a 6th here.
Yeah, but great try from him there. Pronax actually played that one pretty perfectly. Did all the things that he could to win that round, but it's of course always hard in a 1v3 when the CTs, they have a utility, so if you're in this position, they can pop flash and get that frag and secure the round. But in the end, it's going to be a good round for the Hellraisers guys. They're getting back on schedule. Angel is actually going to be quite happy at the end of that round, despite him dying off. But he did a beastly defense to begin with. 6-7 is going to be the scoreline right now. JW once again on the AWP. No AWP on the CT side, but full setup for the terrorists.
So GODSENT again sending all of their players across the map here, but with a heavy focus this time on an ID play. Now Dead Fox hasn't really had to deal with this much pressure in a long, long time, and Flusha is really going to try to sell things over here towards B. He knows there's been some presence thrown at them from the CTs here, but he can't really locate it. Got about 25 damage down onto 0, but that is it. The rest of them now stacked up here. JW, that's a nice little boost they've done there. He's got an angle up on top, but it's Angel that finds the first kill back there against Flusha, taking him down with their aggressive hold in the back B halls.
So here we go. Molotovs are going out, and Dead Fox is just trying with that pop flash. That was insanely well played. Just going for the second one as well. Not going to get it, but does a bit of damage. Pronax now on 9 HP, and Stiko and Bonding are both going to be holding it down. But it will force the rotation from Angel, which will catch him off guard. So Snyder's available to pick up that frag. JW now rotating all the way into that inner bomb side. But Snyder's on 1 HP, so he's probably thinking about, okay, maybe I can go on a Rambo mission and go all on my own.
They do not have a lot of time to get JW into a site and get his bomb onto the ground there. Schneider, he's not going to be able to hold on his own here, and JW sneaking in through the kitchen, through the living room here to try to get himself closer to that B bomb site. But there's a wrap coming on the flank here, and I'm not sure Schneider is aware of it currently. But regardless of if he is or not, he's able to sneak back into the box halls here, where he actually gives up site control. Bonnic's going to push in, but he's waiting for this alert from Schneider. Gets the line up there, takes him down, and he quickly retreats back outside. And with like 10 seconds left, the site control that Schneider had gained for his teammate there, due to the slow follow-up from JW, they end up losing the site completely, and it's just not going to be plausible for him to push back in with like 10 seconds left. He sits back, he'll save, and this one will go to Hellraisers.
And so far, everything is quite as we expected. These two teams are so incredibly close to each other in skill, and a 7-7 scoreline so far, and one round basically to decide it in the first half is just a true testament to that. The money's looking a bit better on the Hellraiser side than on the GODSENT side for this last round. So they have a slight advantage to bring the half into their favor, 8-7, but surely GODSENT, if they hit the correct shots and if they get the first 2 kills, something like that, they will be able to grab it as well. So it's all open here in round number 15.
And it's come down to the wire, too, to see who holds the lead. GODSENT, unfortunately, with dropping that one, their buys are not really going to be all that impressive for the last round, but we've seen them work with this before, and they've still been able to impact. Dead Fox again will be challenged, however, here. The Molotov should send him back since it's beyond the initial smoke that was tossed in there, but he's still actually responding with good damage. Pronax has been hit. JW just goes this one, though, when he catches a mid-reload. That's the Glock kill from JW. Takes down Dead Fox there to eliminate him. Eliminating him as well, looking for a second kill over there towards the back. Won't catch him there. P250 kill, apologies. Sounded like a Glock in my ears, but certainly not the case. Flushing out, looking for the second one. He is going to be able to gain it against Angel. Now, they've got free rights to move into either bomb site here.
So here we go, Stico trying to make his way down here and find that T-play, but as that happens, Snyder shoots him in the back of the head, and he's now down. Now it's all on Bonding and Zero, and as you said, usually GODSENT can work their way out of these situations where they have the, well, not so great buys compared to Hellraisers, and they do this once again, starting off the back of JW's push through the smoke with the P250 when he hears the CT reloading and just does JW things.
Yeah. So off of this now, the last 2 here from Hellraisers. Well, it's the last round, so they'll try to do something in terms of, you know, what that will equate to. It's probably not going to look so good. They've got a pinch at the very least. They can try to do this both at once. As the first player's been spotted, Schneider's up on top. Zero's actually met his first target there and taken him down, but that'll change pretty quickly. Schneider leaping in, Bondic finding one more, but Flusha takes him down, and there you have it. 8-7 will be the scoreline, and it'll be GODSENT that takes control.
So GODSENT in a slight lead here, but we will switch over to the pistol round, which is going to, as per usual, usually dictates the first 3 rounds in the second half. So it's going to be very exciting to see who can come out on top and who can grab that pistol. And as we do know, Train is a long-range map, so the USPs on the CT side is going to have a slight advantage here. So looking forward to see what the Terrorists are going to throw out of their back of tricks in this one.
And we'll jump into that second half here in a moment, but honestly, I think that's probably the most back-and-forth GODSENT game we've had yet so far. Now, we've seen the rounds traded out at the very end of the match plenty of times with GODSENT when they've rounded these comebacks, but I think it's the first time we've ever actually seen them kind of brawl between one of the teams. Normally it's been very one-sided with them either starting out really slow or just kind of crushing things right at the beginning.
But I also think these two are the 2 strongest teams skill-wise here at the event, so it makes a lot of sense. And they have these 2 very, very different styles of playing, where they have all the individual quality and, well, they have major winners in the GODSENT team, and they have so much firepower. And on the other side, we have Hellraisers with the amazing teamwork and the amazing team constructed around having this great leader in Angel, and also in Jonta, the coach as well, working with so many talented players in that region. So it's kind of the 2 styles meeting each other, and it's an immovable object that meets what's that, something force. Now it clips my mind, but there's a saying there somewhere. The Englando people surely help me in the chat. I am not a native speaker, so not everything will be in here. I have it in Danish in my head, so that's a problem. But that's how it is. Enough talk about that. 8-7 is going to be the halftime score. GODSENT in the lead, and now we do have the pistol round coming out. Pronax with the kid as per usual, and 1 smoke.
So for GODSENT here now, we're going to see their people again spreading across the map, but Lekro takes first contact there, and okay, I was a bit worried for a second. He forgot how much health he had, but I guess the wooden spool there kind of absorbs his landing force. So
here we go. Let's see if the unstoppable force, that is the word, of Hellraisers can do anything here against the immovable object of GODSENT. Angel starts things off. JW goes down, and Lekro being on 1 HP. This is a great start for Hellraisers, as Bondic is making his way out towards his outer bomb site. But frags are coming in left, right, and center. Snyder picks up one. And look at the boost as well from Pronax. It's not going to do anything.
We see Angel picking up that kill too. Lekro with that 1 HP. This is going to be tough for him to impact. Schneider is your main man up the bat here, but what is essentially a 1v4 is going to be tough asks. And as he moves in, he actually does spot Stiko there within heaven, so he knows he's there. Look, it's pegged by him, though. It's not going to help his case necessarily. So the kill against Stiko, and it's actually Lekro that finds it, interestingly enough. But Bondic takes him down pretty quickly after that. And for Schneider here now, he's got to be careful of flanks and whatnot, but he's running low on time, very low here, too. He's just got to go for it, see what he can find, and, well, it's not going to be much. Angel gets the clothesline kill as soon as he catches them running out from the tunnel there, and we will see the round claimed by Hellraisers.
So great job by Hellraisers bringing it back now 8-8. As you said, this match has been so back and forth throughout the first couple of rounds of this game, and now we are tied up all once again, and Hellraisers are the one helping us with doing that. It's going to be Snyder to pick up the scout for this one. Of course, the full force from GODSENT. On the other side of things, Hellraisers are looking at 3 SMGs, and Angel, of course, one of the top fraggers throughout the event for Hellraisers on an AK and a 4x.
With GODSENT now preparing to try and defend this with a pretty lax buy now. We'll see them again prioritizing the B-bomb site mainly, actually, and with good reason too. Hellraisers have sent quite a few players up onto the top of ladder, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be coming in here. That's a nice nade. JW, and a second one. No luck for him, unfortunately. He dodges the first one, alright, but the second one just eats him up. Brings him down to 9 HP. And so now he'll stick in here, but mainly just act as an early warning system and hope that he can get a lucky headshot or two off there.
Yeah, usually JW has been very good at holding this position, but in those situations he hasn't been down to 9 HP, and that's the main difference here. The CZ75 is good close range. Pop flash goes in, but that's not anything coming down his way. It's going to be the push inside. Angel's going to drop down and get that first frag. Surely that is Flusher going down.
And on that one too, we can see Dead Fox starting to play around with things there. JW wet for the push there on the flank, but it's spotted out here now. Zero taking his time with it, pushing forward here though. He has gotten very, very close to Schneider to bring him out of it, and Pronax 2 down at 13 HP. Certainly, the round is in full control of the T's at this point, and they should be able to take it home.
Yeah, Schneider just looking to do whatever he can, and he finds one that's Bondic going down. Actually quite low HP on Zero, Stiko, and Angel, so he would be able to, well, pretty much take all of them out with one bullet each. But he's not going to really do that. Angel just takes him out with a headshot. Good job. 9-8 in favor of Hellraisers. GODSENT forced into an eco round. Snyder though, look at that. 24-10.
Where the hell are Lekro, JW, and Flusha? The other question right now.
Imagine if Snyder didn't have 24 frags.
This
would be a different story.
Yeah, I mean, he's been saving them in so many situations.
Yeah.
Like, specifically going back on the T side, too, we just saw so many rounds where the entries were almost entirely on him. And the rest of the guys just kind of coming for mop-up duty. With the hope on the CT side that the rest of the team can kind of chime in a little bit more. And this might actually explain why this game is so close currently. Flusha picking up the first one here, though. He adds another one to his counter. Angel responding. Taking down JW, brings it into a 4v4, and now the second one, this is where the snowball comes in. Zero, though, almost missing that opportunity to eliminate Schneider. They spotted one of the last players. That's going to be Lekro sitting up in heaven. Nowhere for him to run to. Flush is the only surprise left. Lekro actually taking one more down. That's Dead Fox, and oh, the second one! Finally, the nades overwhelm him, knocking him out of heaven. Enough damage was done, however, for Flusha. If he can get undetected close up to one of these guys to be able to knock them down, he can certainly clutch this.
Zero shuts him down though. The Galil proves too strong for the USPS of Flusher, and Hellraisers finally, for the first time in a long time, will gain a 2-round lead here against GODSENT. But look at that from Lekro. That was one of the most valiant tries I've ever seen. They know exactly where he is. He only has a USPS, and he still survives long enough time to get 2 frags against fully bought up AKs.
So, as we can see there now, getting back into things, and now for Dead Fox. So this is where things will hopefully get a little bit more interesting, of course. GODSENT also bringing a shotgun into it too. JW, we've seen him been able to work with this over there in the ladder room, and he's going to be no stranger to it, deploying himself towards it. Flusha, though, up close on the ramp, grabs Angel. He goes for a very fast peek on that, but it's very quickly punished. The 3-man stack in here no longer going to be necessary, as they send a lot of their players back over into the ace and expecting a rotate.
So here we go. JW playing his position here. Pop Dog with the Max 7, that is where we usually see him. Bondic, of course, knows about the tail of JW and the Pop Dog, so he's not just going to drop straight down in there. Going to think a lot before they go that way. So with one player down, Angel already, Dead Fox still with the AWP, so they are probably going to work off him to see if he can kind of open up the map for them, and then they can do and execute towards that A bomb site. And here we go, once again the smokes are being put down by Hellraisers, signal of an A push incoming.
Smokes deployed indeed, and now Hellraiser's their turn to go, but there's nothing down below. Currently, they're going to go right into JW's crosshair. Gets the first kill, half the second one against Sticko. They've also held off a lot of that T-Con push. Sticko right now is actually the only thing saving this hit. But still, it's not enough to actually send them into the bomb site here. Dead Fox is hunting for Schneider. Pronax has just found Dead Fox, though, and now it all is in the hands of Sticko. He does have the bomb, however, so he's just going to make a beeline over here to the other site on inner. And deploy the plant. So at the very least, guarantee the bonus money, but a clutch would certainly be impressive now with only 10 HP. Trying to play it slowly here. Waiting for the peak to come out, but I believe Flusha spotted that on his first peek. He'll take him down, eliminate Sticko without too much extra conflict, and GODSENT will find the 9th.
Yeah, so just as Hellraisers try to make their way out of kind of like this back and forth situation, GODSENT just reels them back into it with a round win and 3 weapons saved. That's very important as well. The AWP right now on the back of Pronax, probably going to be thrown over to JW, but also matters so much for their economy going into the rest of this game. So let's see here. Yep, JW does get that AWP. Hellraisers on the other side are probably going to go for, yeah, a couple of drops here because they had 2 players on 7.8 and 6.3k, I think. So they're going to be able to do this kind of quasi-buy here and get some utility on these players. So this is not a bad round from Hellraisers, but definitely equipment advantage in the favor of GODSENT.
And GODSENT themselves now with the 4-man play over here into the A-bomb site, still expecting heavy resistance in there and expecting Hellraisers to go for the default execute, but I think it has something different maybe in the cards this time. Hellraisers are making a lot of noise, however, in their approach to the back B halls just because of how well GODSENT have been able to gauge their own aggression in here. Flusha waits at the bottom of ramp for them to push up towards it, but won't be getting anything anytime soon. Hellraisers are holding back and playing this really passively on this round.
On the back of the train, just getting ready for this incoming storm of Hellraisers players. He has that Molotov as well, so he can drop that down if he has any kind of fear of a quick push. And yeah, they're just waiting. The calm before the storm right now on this inner bomb site.
We see the rest of Hellraisers here preparing for it, keeping themselves as quiet as possible, but they do commit over into the B-bombs, and Flusha, after backing away from that ramp spot, doesn't want anything to do with this initial hit. He's going to flood away, and he sounds the early warning system for everybody else on GODSENT to rotate in. They're all here. They're all ready to start the retake. There's where Lekro is going to chime in with that first kill there against Zero. The Molotov onto the back train, too, to push them in, but where's this position for Bondic? He's gone all the way into Z. He's remained completely unnoticed. Strikes with the first kill. Bondic, Dead Fox, all chiming in here. He's found a second for himself. Pronax is the last man standing. Hellraisers surely have this secured now, and they will go up 11-9.
So now Angel dies to Pronax, which means that the rest of the Hellraiser squad will know exactly where Pronax is. And it's probably going to be up to Bondic to see if he can find it, because Dead Fox and Stuco both low on HP, so they're probably going to just run away. Bondic with the AWP as well, so he's probably not going to go for the peak anyways. Let's see here. He is a tad close by, but look at Pronax. He has so much utility, so he's probably also looking to save this and bring it into the next round.
He's kind of having it up close here, but as he moves in, they're both waiting for him perfectly. There you have it. Hellraisers managed to keep all 3 of those guys alive. There are no saves at all for GODSENT. Yeah, and the money, as we saw a quick glimpse of it there, just isn't in a good position. This push from Bondic, though,
yeah,
the fact that he's allowed into Z through the B-bomb site and then is able to kind of jump out there and punish them so heavily, unfortunately, is not going to play out so well for GODSENT here now. And again, with a shutdown like that, they won't be looking so great. Hellraisers have the rights to now push ahead with the lead even further.
they will also face against the full eco of GODSENT right now. No Deagles even bought. They have one smoke on Pronax and a 157 on Snyder. Those are the two only positives right now, and JW just gets gunned down completely. Angel is nothing that can barely stop him at this back alley right now with the weapon he has compared to the weapons that the CTs are currently equipped with. Big advantage for Hellraisers to take this one home, and that will bring them on 12-9 here in the first map, which would be huge for them since this is the map pick of GODSENT.
Yeah, so Hellraisers, again here though, slow to initiate, but there's good reason for it on these rounds with how kind of cheeky the players from GODSENT tended to be in the past when they've been on these saves here, specifically JW, but they've already killed him. So most of that worry, if they're kind of measuring the patterns from GODSENT, is gone now, since he's usually the player that tends to push up, him and Flusha for the most part, but every one of them is backed up and is playing to a pretty safe angle there, primarily on the outer bomb site. Flusha even acting as a quick rotator here, but 45 seconds left. Actually, for a round like this, still plenty of time for Hellraisers to get themselves into a site. They're going to deploy smokes and everything, but it's actually a fake. They're going to be working their way into A. The good news for GODSENT, though, is that they've realized that they haven't rotated at all. In fact, they're going to go the other direction. Stico, though, after being dinked a little bit there, is able to pick up the kill against Lekro. Now the rest of the initiation comes in from T-Con. Angel finding Pronax. Schneider trying to hide and look for any players there on the top train that he could punish from the ladder position, but he's not going to grab any. It's all pretty safe right here. And Flush is the only other one still in Z there that can have an impact. This round, though, is certainly not going to work, and with how clean Hellraisers were able to get into the site, it's looking like we're going to have a 12-9.
Yeah, definitely a 12-9 in the cards for this one. Snyder just on this ladder will try to get some exits here. Flusher just all the way into that B bomb. So I don't even want to give the terrorists the satisfaction of killing him, basically. Don't want to give them the $300 either. So Snyder just trying to find someone, but yeah, it's not going to happen. Zero shoots him in the back, and that is going to be 12-9, as you said. And the economy for Hellraisers is about to be a bit more healthy, and they are also on the T side, the side that is quite easy to generate a lot of economical momentum on. So right now, after buying the last grenades, they need most of them are on 5k and above.
Pretty cool if Schneider had a kit there in that last round. They actually came out of the site pretty quickly. If he had a kit, I feel like he probably could have ninja'd that. But not in the cards. He still remains, however, as the top fragger by a very big margin, as we can see on the GODSENT side. Hellraisers, though, in a commanding lead position, and this gun round could very well decide things for quite a long time. GODSENT, however, even though they have invested, it's limited once more. They've been in a really tough pit, economically speaking, for the entire half so far. Flusha back down into a shotgun, and for those that even really bought up here, again, the utility is very limited. JW also forced to go for a glass cannon up by 2.
Flush decided to go with the Molotov and the smoke grenades, which of course is great for his position, which will buy him some time if the terrorists decide to push in. He can either put down the molly, he can put down the smoke as well, and then just play close range with that Max 7. But they are going to go upper and face his bomb site in a couple of seconds, but now to push Lekro, takes one down. Now look at that, Flusha picks down the bomb.
Gets a jumping kill on the second one there, too, to take down Dead Fox, hunting for more. They've got one on the backside, though. There's going to be Bondic knocking down Flusha, but the damage is already done. This has been limited into a 2v4. They still haven't managed that guy on the back platform on this side either. At the moment, Lekro is just free to push himself up there and find any position he really wills against the two remaining members of Hellraisers here. Now Bondic pushing himself forward. He's going to try to look for that kill. Lekro blocking the first one. Bondic trading. He tries to swing it around 180 for one of these last ones here, but Lekro does deny it. Eliminates Bondic, and GODSENT right back into it. Now 10-12.
10-12, and that is perfect from Flusha. Take the bomb down, takes the second guy down as well, and get some money in the bank with that Max 7.
This game remains very much on edge, as we can see here. The matchup again coming in there, Schneider versus Angel, who have both shown up quite well here. Schneider, one of the big players here, one of the very few big players I should mention for GODSENT. Hellraisers actually having a little bit more of a consistent performance, but even with that, holding a very shaky lead right now.
Yeah, a lead of only 2 rounds, and well, if they lose this one, the economy is also going to be not good enough to do the fall by Lekro. Does his to kind of stop that, and he takes down one, but eventually he's traded by Bondi. Bondi's just making his way into the bomb site right now. Snyder has to hold this one down, and he does with the USPS headshot.
Getting that one up there, Stico now moving in, and that's a huge spray down from him. Finding Pronax within the smoke. Now equalizes the players left alive again into a 3v3, and GODSENT are heavily injured. Specifically JW and Schneider. they can't really afford to be going out into the open here. Schneider, though, ducking behind the train stopper, finds Dead Fox just as he's trying to go up on top of one of those trains, and he spots another one here behind E-Box. They've got good locations. He relays that over to Flushu, who's going to be able to shut down Zero, and now it's fallen to Stiko. Trying to clutch this out. He's lurking, but no! Denied on the opportunity by Flush, who arrives just in the nick of time. GODSENT will get their 11th, and they survive with 3 players left at the end of the round.
So it's juicy now on the money. We have one guy on 2,300, one guy on 27 as well, and a couple of guys who actually would be able to buy. But if they decide to buy now, it's going to be 3 AKs and 2 Tech 9s, and that's going to be incredibly hard when they have struggled to string together rounds with better buys in the last couple of rounds against GODSENT. They are going to go for the almost full eco here. Of course, the guys with a bunch of money to spare can buy some deagles, and they'll be able to buy a full setup next round. But next round is going to be tied up 12 to 12, so this is putting it all on the line here for Hellraisers.
And again, not really anything creative being done. Just lining up for a default style of play for Hellraisers here. Quite a few players. They get the bomb up on top of the ladder room so they can go to either side if need be. But in terms of any early aggression or anything, not really from either side. There's not really either team doing anything here. We just have the 2 lined up ready to engage back over here in the ladder room. Same thing back over there in the T connector, and then you have Angel ready to try and push his way in. But early damage already been done to Dead Fox and Stiko through nades and kind of spraying into it there. That was so low, and it's certainly not going to help their case. More than likely, they're just going to turn into cannon fodder the second they try to push out into the open. And worse than that, Angel, the one player they had trying to push towards Ivy, has just been taken down by Pronax.
So, here we go. 2 players technically remaining for Hellraisers, as Bonding and Zero both on full HP, but their 2 teammates are very low indeed, as you said. 4 HP and 23. And JW just sitting on the other side of the smoke, just waiting for someone to push out and start spraying into it. Actually gets headshotted, but it doesn't really matter. There it is. JW surviving with 14 HP. And that's going to be 12 to 12 and surviving with 5 weapons there, GODSENT. It's going to be so good for building the economy here on the CT side. And Flusher with 5.4 to spare after buying. So he's going to have enough money to rebuy in that next round. And even rebuy an AWP if he wants to.
A clean round, to say the least, for GODSENT there. And it doesn't necessarily help out the Hellraisers case much. They've lost the lead that they just worked so much to get. Well, they'll have the money to invest here onto this round, using the pause, of course, for strategical reasons to try and figure out what exactly they can do. Because again, as mentioned before, there's not really a whole lot of crazy stuff going on for Hellraisers currently. They need to try and throw a curveball at the GODSENT players to see if they can trick them out here and pick up a round through pure shock value.
So here we go. The force buy is going to come in for Hellraisers. They are going to miss some utility on some of the players, but most of them are going to be all right. They might even pick up an AWP here. Stiko with 6.2. So that's fine. Yeah, and it's going to be the AWP on Dead Fox. So here we go, guys. Stiko, of course, not going to have that much utility. Going to be on a small armor as well, which, of course, is not as good as you expect against the M4s on the CT side. It's the other way around. You can afford to go for the small armor if you're playing against AKs, but not really the case here. Stiko, Dead Fox, and Zero here in question.
3 from Hellraisers, ready to jump in themselves, of course, but still holding back right now after deploying Molotovs and whatnot. Not really doing a whole lot of damage here. GODSENT still with full control of the outer site, and the bomb still sitting back a little bit there too, but I think now that the increased pressure over on Ivy can actually let them get in from here and really add another angle to their take. This has been one of the problems, is that beyond like T-Con and Ladder, they've really struggled to get control of some of these other areas. But with no early pressure at all in T-Con, GODSENT, of course, are going to take advantage of that. They push in, they clear it out, and they're going to hold close angles against this when Hellraisers eventually do try to push back in.
So, 1 minute remaining, or actually 55 seconds remaining, and no kills have been traded yet for either of these teams. Zero on 61 HP though, so he has taken a bit of a beating. Angel just holding the defensive angle, making sure no one lurks throughout the back alley, and just holding that one down, waiting for his teammates. And here comes the smoke. Smoke on the outer bomb side, and the terrorists will be following.
Well, they make up their minds now, and finally it'll be time to push into the bomb site here. Angel, nicely done. Here's the shots from Pronax, and he's able to adjust to it. Tracers, unfortunately, but he does manage to find the source of the shots regardless. Bombdeck and Angel finding 2 more kills, and that's actually a rather clean site take. GODSENT don't even know what just hit them there, since it just explodes out all at once, and that's going to be a save call for Flusher and Schneider.
Yeah, definitely. This is a great round from Hellraisers, not losing a single player. Angel definitely open up there with that frag and actually getting 2 in the end, surviving with 16 HP unless one of these GODSENT players just rotates around and kills him as an exit, but that's probably not going to happen. So great round from Hellraisers. They have some money to spare as well, so the economy is going to be looking decent once again, and they're going to be up by 13 to 12 here in the first map as we do see the last seconds of round number 25. And, well, fitting as pretty much every single game we've had here on the stream has been going to almost 30 rounds. This one is probably going to go that way as well.
Every GODSENT game, at least.
Yeah, that is true.
Some of them have been a little bit more one-sided, but I think you know, here at the minor, we talked about it at the beginning about how a lot of these games was going to be kind of an open playing field, and so far that's been true. Not one team has stood out to be flawless with their play, even up here in the winners bracket final of the playoff stage.
Definitely, all of these teams have continually worked on their problems throughout this tournament here, and none of them are at a level yet where they're perfect. But these two teams are definitely our best tries on any of these teams being able to qualify for this major qualifier. Dead Fox has been detrimental to the success of Hellraisers so far. Him and Angel has been the two guys the focus has been on, and he's doing just perfect with his AWP so far. 13 to 12 speaks its clear language. 1 round lead. Can Dead Fox make it into 1 more?
Now Angel pushing himself forward there is going to be able to get yet another frag here. This time it's GODSENT. They're trying to meet the more passive style that was deployed from Hellraisers with aggression, and it fails horribly. Hellraisers don't even push up to those angles where GODSENT would have expected to find the guys on HR, and they are able to just punish them from the backside there. So already 2 kills in their direction. A lot of them happening out towards Ivy here. Hellraisers will adjust a little bit because they still were getting some intel off of these plays, but it's not going to be hard to make those changes.
So here we go. Snyder trying to edge his way into T-Con, but not going to find anything, at least no one peeking yet. That is because the terrorists are rotating through those white walls, trying to get maybe onto that B-bomb site, which is the correct call right now, because there's no one on the B-bomb site. Rotate happens now, though, so this is going to be just in time, I think, for the CCs. Yeah, it's going to be just in time for the bomb site and for that push if they decide to go in, but nope. That is the fake.
With all that pressure going in, GODSENT will have to bite on that rotation, but it's a big mistake. Now the A site, the outer site is wide open, and if they're properly boxed out and whatnot, again, this is probably going to be another save call from GODSENT.
Yeah, just roll up a welcome mat.
Yeah.
Give them the side.
What are they going to do here in the 3-on-5?
Yeah, they're definitely going to save here. But this is the hard thing for GODSENT, because technically, of course, it is the correct decision to save. But if you continue to just save these rounds, you're just going to lose out so much, and you're just going to be sitting there, oh, why am I in this situation? What could I have done differently to not be in this situation? What can we do? And you start questioning yourself and questioning the choices of the team as well, and that can tilt a lot of players, even on this pro level.
Washa waiting for the pushes to come in, though. This is where Hellraisers will more than likely lose at least a couple of their guys and trying to hunt down these kills. It seems as though Hellraisers aren't really too keen on continuing that pursuit after losing Angel. So at the moment appear to be the only death due to chasing these GODSENT guys down. They save with 3, however, and there should be enough excess cash to toss over guns for the other remaining 2 here. So it's still going to be another full buy in the next round for GODSENT.
Yeah, surely, but I think we do have a post coming in here for some of these guys, and, well, I would imagine it is GODSENT. I would imagine RDL has something to say right now, because his team is down by 2 with only a few rounds to go here in the first map. And this is, once again, their map choice. So this is the map that they would at least bank on winning in this best of 3 to begin with, and then getting onto the third one perhaps, because they know how strong HR are.
Yeah, our second map is where I feel like things are going to get a little bit dodgy for GODSENT, especially with their tended style of play on the T side. Honestly, if Hellraisers manage to take this one, I feel like it could actually go Hellraisers 2-0.
Yeah, exactly.
On that next map with the way that they played it previously there. So
I agree.
Need to be very careful. And it's actually tactical pause from GODSENT here now, as they continue to kind of troll their opponents a little bit with these.
Actually, for Hellraisers.
Yeah.
But yeah, the intention is correct. But here we go. Actually, also just good idea from Hellraisers. They've taken a couple rounds in a row now. They need to take a breather. Just focus. Okay, we have this 2-round lead. We can't throw this away right now. So 100% focus and gets them into the correct mindset. Double AWP setup on that CT side right now for GODSENT.
Well, let's see if GODSENT can do anything about this now that they were able to buy back into it. The double off setup, we hope some power would come in with that one. But Flush, again, being relatively silent so far in this match, along with JW. Kind of everybody on the team kicking things up a little bit in the second half, of course, but still more to be made up in a far cry from what we had been seeing in the earlier matches, of course. Opening, though, the smoke rolls in a bit late from GODSENT, but of course that's a good thing with Hellraisers never actually pushing against it. Now it buys more time. This position from Schneider, though, Bonnic's going to go looking for it. The smoke fades just as he creeps up towards it, but Schneider himself not able to find any of these guys. He is still in a great position to catch these guys off guard right here, though, as they're not going to be expecting him this far up. And there's where the punishment comes in. As soon as they walk into T-Con, Schneider strikes, takes him down, but all of a sudden, this is going to cause a shift. This is just one guy, probably moving in late as well to cut off rotations. The actual hit itself is still yet to be seen, and GODSENT don't realize this yet. They're trying to investigate out towards Ivy to confirm this, and, well, now their suspicions will start to raise a bit, but still, Hellraisers are preparing to go for an all-in hit on the B site.
They have to time this correctly. They have to move in right now because the doubt is coming into GODSENT. We do see the rotation coming in from Schneider as well, so this might be a couple of seconds too late because Schneider's already here, and the grenades and the Molotovs go down as well, and Lekra's trying to hold this. Let's see if they can do it.
Line is so perfect. They're not going to be able to get the kill onto him. He manages to adjust perfectly there and gets a dink onto his second player. Bonnick and Stiko, though, have traded those kills, so it's still even after losing one of their previous players before here. Bonnick holding so close up to Z, but he's actually just been flashbang. Thankfully, no one else from GODSENT's in the area. Bonnick creeping up, though. He had his chance to kill Pronax wall blind before, but he didn't look away from his own teammate's flash. Now the Molotov is going to send some of these guys into the open. Good peek from Flusha. JW finding another one. Dead Fox is alone all of a sudden in the 1v3. GODSENT are going to race up to the front of the bombs, and the Molotov forcing him open. Tries to get out of the flames before going to it. Jumping away. Both shots miss. JW grabs the kill, and GODSENT keep this close. 13-14 is going to be the scoreline.
Oh, that was so incredibly close. What a round. And Dead Fox, of course, in the end. Of course, I saw him picking up that frag in the end, at least. The one on that long range, but not going to happen. And he's just going to die down to the USPS of JW. So that is going to be, well, big hit to Hellraisers here in the continued story of this first map. And Hellraisers, what are they going to do now? They still have the lead, but their confidence has to have taken a hit here. And actually, the money is fine. They have 2 or 3 players above 2k and 1 player above 5k. So money's fine for Hellraisers, but confidence might have taken a hit.
Yeah, the double ops are still a factor to be trifled with too now. And Hellraisers completely abandoning all of their pursuits over towards the Ivy area of the map. Nobody being sent towards there. Everybody just lining up for what appears to be a default, but obviously with the bomb position, I could still go towards either side. Flusha, let's see. Nobody's watching it. A nice little dip from Flusha, and he knocks out Zero with absolutely zero room for follow-up on Hellraiser's side. That's basically a free kill.
Yeah, definitely. And we've seen this so many times again. Like Flusha just constantly knowing the timing of every single push, and he gets this down correctly 9 out of 10 times, and once again he just gives his team the one-man advantage when that free kill, as you're saying. He's just such a great all-round player.
Stiko, Angel now going to be the team to deploy back over here into the ladder room. And Bondic and Dead Fox leaping down from the other side there into T-Con. This will be their attempt, but it's very straightforward. And GODSENT obviously able to counter out a lot of the angles here. Electra actually can't see. Stiko's going to walk right up, but they find that, oh no, they can't actually stop him. He's able to get the plant going here. Good damage being done, and almost none of it returned, however. So holding in the post plant is still going to be the tough part. There's Flusha finding the killing blow onto Stiko there. Pronax is just moving forward against this one too, but actually he's found by Dead Fox. They take him out. He's got eyes on the bomb currently here. Another teammate pushing out too. A missed shot onto him. He almost finds Lekro and readjusts just in time. 88 HP, but then Schneider moves and rips through 1, 2, 3 players. Schneider with a huge play, and with that, it brings GODSENT back into the tie situation, 14-all.
That push from Schneider could very well be what destroys Hellraisers right here, because now they've gone 2 rounds in a row. They do have the momentum. The money's not looking as perfect as it has been so far for Hellraisers. And Schneider, what a genius push with that AK-47. Just picks up the triple in the end with the bomb being down. Perfect from him.
And so off of that one again, we've been looking at Schneider as the big player here on the field, and he continues to do so even when some of the other guys are stepping up, leading the way for his team, and in many situations now, saving them from utter elimination here now. And okay, a triple upset apparently is going to be what GODSENT will utilize here, as Schneider may have accidentally picked one up there thinking that one of the two have gotten dropped, so might as well use it instead of wasting the money on the rebuy.
Yeah, Dead Fox only with 1 flashbang in this round, so not as much utility on him. The rest of the team having pretty much what they need, so it wasn't as bad, the money on that Hellraiser side, but still it's tied 14-14, so GODSENT, they have an opportunity now. JW shot in the head by Dead Fox, absolutely removed from the server.
So there's Dead Fox again, chiming in a little bit there with prowess. One of the 3 ops has gone down, but the other 2 still very much alive. Angel also finding Pronax there, so another good pickup. They've cleared out Ivy completely. They could, in theory, with the bomb in its position now, kind of wrap over there through CT, but I mean, Angel's just kind of wrecking everyone, so it's not even needed. Angel finds Lekro now. I mean, GODSENT just unfortunately failing to adjust positioning there after they get in through Ivy, and with that, it's exposed so many of their players. Now it's just 2 of the 3 ops left up and running here, and they're both focused on the B side. Already, obviously, as you can see from the positions, kind of prioritizing on a save.
Yeah. Luckily for Hellraisers, they survive, or they are probably going to survive with all 5 of their members, so money's going to not be an issue for the remaining 2 rounds of this game for them. On the other hand, GODSENT, of course, saving the 2 ops is the best possible save they can do. It's going to be interesting to see how things are going to work out, especially if they lose the next one. And Hellraisers are going to be in 14. They're probably looking at a 4 spy with something like 2 5.7s or Deagles or something like that, while the rest of the team, of course, on M4s.
So finally putting the bomb on the ground there. Around the time a little bit low, of course, but just making sure that GODSENT still didn't try to make an attempt to hold that there. And a bit of an unorthodox corner or something like that, but not happening. And for Flusha and Schneider, of course, already very much in the position they want to be holding to try and save here. And Hellraisers, well, we may see 1 or 2 of their guys moving out to hunt things down. I don't think it's going to be a team effort, as the money's still a little bit delicate at the moment.
Definitely. And they also bring a lot of utility into the next one. We do see a couple of flashbangs on almost every player being brought into the next round. So very conservative, with not trying to get too much wasted. And well, Flusha wastes his Dead Fox in that round, that's for sure. Angel just trying to get in there on the edge of that smoke, but Flusha just secures yet another one. But they are continually pushing him and will take Flusha down in the end. Schneider will be the only one surviving with that AWP. So only 1 weapon being brought into the next one by GODSENT.
Coming down to the wire again for GODSENT. I don't know how many maps they've played here this tournament now that have gone to all 30 rounds, but it seems like it's been quite a few of them. 15 to 14 in the favor of Hellraisers. Overtime on the line for GODSENT if they can bring it back. With only that 1 save, it's actually not going to be that bad. Everybody else is buying up rifles, of course. Utility, as usual, is going to end up being the limiting factor for not only JW, but Lekro, Flush as well. Schneider and Pronax are alright, but still.
So let's have a look here. See what Hellraisers has in the cookbook. What kind of dish they're going to wrap up for us here. Styko trying to make his way down Pop Dog. Flusha here, of course, at his usual position towards that lower ramp. And well, doesn't see anyone just yet, but he is playing a very passive game, very defensively, all the way down, making sure that he'll be able to rotate if they push in.
Flusha sitting back here now, and again, he expects it to come in. Slowly inching his way back to further towards the back of the site there itself, and actually into a good spot where he can find Zero there. So taking him down. No one else on the Hellraiser side is going to test that. They just want control for now, and well, they'll let GODSENT basically come at them for the retake, which may not end up working out so great as we've seen from past examples here. But there's Angel, actually. He's the one that's going to move forward to pick up those kills. Catches the trade from the earlier loss of Zero, and with that, now they've got a chance. Where is GODSENT, though? They're not making any attempt at this right now. The clock's running down very, very low, and they haven't even really gone back into the site. We are going to see Angel tries to get aggressive. It doesn't play out. Bondic finding 1 trade, but Schneider is there, and again, remains the big power fragging force here for the GODSENT roster. Manages to pick up those 2 kills. Stiko, though, out to the open, down to 4 HP, but he's found the kill on to Schneider. Hiding in the smoke here, too. They know he's hiding somewhere around here, but they haven't detected it. It's so low on the timer. Dead Fox isn't even peeked out yet. They don't have enough time. He's going to jump onto it. The spray's coming. Lekko's got that kill, but oh no! They can't find him. It's going to come down to him, but Stiko gets the knife, and with that, Hellraisers close out the last round. 16 to 14 is going to be the final score of map number 1, and they just barely take control there.
That was the craziest end
to a game. He literally was defusing on top of an opponent.
1 second to go, and Stiko comes in with the knife to win that absolutely beast ending. Hellraisers will take map 1, the map choice of GODSENT, and we will be moving on to Cobblestone with Hellraisers being up 1-0.
And that puts GODSENT in a very, very delicate position now. Losing that one, having to go over to a map that's heavily, weighted on its T side, and with GODSENT, I mean, with the strategical aspect, I think, of things, judging from the performance I've seen here being rather weak, I'm worried now that they're going to get 2-0'd.
Yeah, definitely. This is a legit danger right now. We do see, of course, Schneider and the guys from GODSENT looking absolutely defeated, not only in the server, but also IRL. They're just looking, staring into the ground, staring at their feet, not knowing what to do with themselves.
Well, a crazy map indeed, and we've got a lot of analysis to do. So let's bring the analysis desk back into the conversation, of course.
Yeah, that last round. So could you, Blue, you were casting.
Yes.
What did I witness? So Sticko has 3 HP. That's a CT smoke.
Was it actually CT smoke?
I think that was a CT
it was
smoke.
A CT smoke.
That was so he goes into the CT smoke.
Yeah.
And then they start defusing on top of him.
So he's like crouching in the smoke.
Yeah.
Some dude's on top of his head. But how on earth does he sit there and go, oh, you know, I can't see anything. Let's just look up. Who does that?
Start digging around up there.
What on earth?
And also with 1 second to go.
I mean, if he's crouched, I guess he realizes that he can't stand up. He's like, oh, there must be a player on top of me.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh my lord, what a way to end a series. Another full 30 rounds. GODSENT don't make it easy on you guys. How the voices doing?
Pretty good. Hanging in there, actually.
Okay, good.
Nice little breaks in between the maps.
Yeah, well, you go take one now. We'll carry on over here. All right, much love to Blue and Risk. I've got a broken pen is what I've got. Got Halvor and Natu joining me to talk through this one. See you later, boys. All right. 16-14. GODSENT don't make it easy on us, do they, Halvor?
No, they don't make it easy for themselves either.
Our hearts. Hellraisers picking up the win on GODSENT's pick.
Yeah.
Suddenly things get very scary for the Swedes. Natu.
Yeah, he does, right? Something I definitely would have never thought that Hellraisers would win it. And after first half, you would have thought that they definitely, I said, even without a pistol round, they can scrape through, get 6 rounds. Now they got, 7 or 8 rounds?
7.
Yeah, 7. So, I mean, that should be plenty enough. And by pretty much the rinse and repeat from previously, just grinding for those kills, going for entries, overwhelming a site. But on the other side, I was very impressed by Hellraiser's C-side, actually. They had some nice, how you were pointing out, Halvor, how they had some nice execution over inner bomb side, really pushing it towards CT spawn, making it hard for CTs to defend, but also the outer pushes. Really nice stuff. Smoking off the usual suspects, 5 lane, 6 lane, and then getting the entry, overwhelming the CTs once again, making it a 5-on-3, getting the bomb down, getting all the angles correctly. So, yeah, I mean, for once, good team play from Hellraisers. Good to see.
Yeah. For once, I mean, we did see it on Nuke as well.
Well, yeah, that's the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Exception to the rule.
But I really like what Hellraisers were doing, especially because they were slowing the tempo down to the point where GODSENT got frustrated and had to.
Yeah.
Well, they felt like they had to find people, like find terrorists on their CT side, which is very odd. And that's when you really saw one of the big downfalls really of GODSENT, the fact that JW didn't have too much of an impact, and he kept giving away opening frags. We talked about how he was the one finding opening frags for them a lot of the time on train in the previous games on their T side, but on the CT side, he was more the guy who gave openings to Hellraisers time and time again.
Super hard for Hellraisers in the first half as well, because money was tight continuously for them, because the rounds were so close. And I felt like GODSENT could have run away with that first half had they not lost against an Eco when they were 4-3 up. They lost against basically a buy of a couple of Deagles in that round going to outer bomb side.
Yeah, well, I think they lost another Eco as well, if not completely mistaken, where they saved an AWP as well.
Very possible.
So, yeah. No,
this is the round, by the way, guys. So let's just say it was Snyder through the smoke. Let's
they know he's there
this.
at this point because he's already killed Schneider.
Maybe they thought he was.
So now he hits crouch. You can see he's crouching because the bomb is above him.
But like at this point, I don't understand where they think he's gone, because Pronex has already cleared out the right side.
Maybe they see Dead Fox and assume it's Sticko.
At that point, you should be aware enough to know that Schneider
we get Pronex POV, yep. So he jumps
on top of him. Right now, he's on top of him.
And then
you can see him firing up. You can see the muscle flash.
Starts firing.
Yeah.
Then decides, okay, he must be directly above me. 1 second. Take note of the time. 4 HP. 1 second. He just left. 3 left clicks.
Oh, was it? No, was it left? Because he wasn't. Pronex was an 83 HP.
Okay, so it must be left.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if you scroll it back, he was 83 HP, and then he just died. So it must have been like a backstab.
Oh, he pulled off, and I don't know. Oh, we're getting it. We are actually getting it rewarded. Okay, here we go.
So it's 83 and then died. So that's Psycho getting super lucky and actually getting the backstab.
Can we get one more time? I'm sorry, replay guy, you're amazing. So keep
roll it.
Watch his HP. Bottom right corner, guys, for you guys at home. 100.
91.
That's a left click coming in. So 2 seconds on the bomb.
91. 83. 0.
Dead.
That's a backstab.
That's super lucky.
He was slicing
he was underneath him. Somehow, so basically what Sticker did was he like, bat, and then just kind of went...
Like a tiny...
gave him a bit of a prosthetic slam there. In the
Hey,
very
November, relevant. There you go.
That's what
Get yourself
tying it in.
Yeah, somehow we managed it. I like that. But yes.
Absolutely crazy. But I'm still shocked by the fact that Sticker is able to survive there. 4 HP the entire time. And I don't see it as a viable explanation that they thought Dead Fox was Sticko.
Okay, that's a bad explanation. Okay.
No, because they were 2 people alive, Fronix checked the right side, swings over to the left side, and runs around the smoke to the point where...
It has to be on this.
Yeah, like there's no way he's anywhere else.
Process of elimination.
Yeah,
exactly.
Looking at the movement from the CTs, there was absolutely nowhere he could have gone, basically, because they could have seen him go lower ramp, right?
Exactly.
100%.
And you can't really, go with the fact that they think it's Dead Fox because you're going to see the kill feed, right? So when Dead Fox dies on lower...
They know it's not him. I mean, he has an AWP on his back.
Exactly, and they know like someone's missing. Yeah, and that's the guy who killed Schneider on the bomb train. So...
It's great to see the good old matchmaking Batman move just work.
Hey, and I also love that we just managed to replay that 9 times. Much love to PGL for enabling us to actually understand and kind of get our heads around what we did just witness. The scoreboard will probably help us shed some light on some of the strengths as well, because there is one name that we have to scream from the rooftops from GODSENT that we haven't been doing in the past. Natu, back to the point you made yesterday. Someone has to step up from GODSENT, and that was Schneider you mentioned, and here he stands again.
Yeah, he turned into a demigod.
Definitely did. I mean, he was instrumental in that first half, making all those so much work. Basically, is what you can say. Has struggled a little bit on the city side, but towards the tail end, kind of kept GODSENT in the game, getting a massive triple kill in one of the later stages in an after plan situation. So just overall, something to need from him for sure. But on a more consistent base, has to be said. I mean, this cannot happen like once every 10 games. Needs to be more consistent.
Well, I like the first kill stat. I've been drawn to that before.
And he's been doing it on train actually for the better part of when they've been playing train. And speaking of consistency, the match MVP, Angel's been on fire these last couple of games. Last series as well versus Space Soldiers had great games. Starts off this one excellently, 28 frags, and
he's a great example of someone who likes to lead from up front.
Yes, definitely.
The spearhead of the assault.
8 first kills. That's significant.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, he does it on like I said, a consistent basis. No matter what map it is, he's going to be there in the front line. And some of the in-game leaders do like that. I mean, it's easier for them to dictate the pace once they're part of that top 2, top 3, or the first 2 or 3 people that are going to be entering a bomb site.
Yeah, huge work from Angel, and on a consistent basis, which it does seem like we are actually starting to appreciate a whole lot more. I mean, because of so many inconsistencies within our scene and with our rosters, within our players, when you have someone that's doing it consistently, there is definitely a whole lot of positivity to be taken from that, and there's no doubt there's going to be a positive mindset for Angel heading into map 2 and Hellraisers. You've just beaten GODSENT on the map they found the most success on here in Bucharest, and so as we look forward to Cobble, I mean, what do you have to say about this one, gentlemen? This is
what can you say about this one?
This could have just transferred from a 3 maps GODSENT win to a 2-0 Hellraisers win.
Yeah, it's very possible right now. I'm going to assume GODSENT probably picks T side to start things off, but I don't think it's going to be easy for them for sure. If Angel has his game on point, if he's going to keep poking things towards that A bomb side, we know it's tough to do a lot of things on Kabul CT side, but there's still possibilities of wiggle room for aggressiveness there, which he likes to work with. And then obviously there's the room on that B bomb side for executes that you can definitely do against Hellraisers on when you're playing T side, but we've not really seen much of that from GODSENT. So do they have the means to punish it?
Oh,
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but I think if they're going to get away with a win here, it's going to be they're going to have to do it off of individual skill, but they're also going to have to do what they did, on their T-side versus LDLC on train, basically keep the tempo up the entire time. I think if they get bogged down to the point where they have to rely on executions, I think they're screwed.
So if they get
we saw a lot of, we saw the first time we saw the Kabul T-side, it was like a lot of B rushes, basically.
Yeah, and I think
just ramming in there.
But I think that's going to have to be the name of the game, really, for them.
Much.
Just bum rush B. Right. 15 out of 15 rounds.
So Pronax just takes his microphone off, just unplugs it, and just types in chat, rush B, no stop.
Or enter. Hope that once you play JW down to drop, that he's going to just go ham, get an op in his hands, and it's just going to go. You use it as a shotgun for short range and then as an op for long range, like we used to see.
And I mean, I guess one thing that GODSENT does have going for them, even though they don't really play Kabul at all because it's normally just an insta veto for them, they have played it once here. And that's like the first time in forever, pretty much. But they did win versus Attacks, and Attacks they're not pushovers on Kabul by any means. So there is something there is potential there for GODSENT, but they're going up against probably one of the strongest Kabul teams in the tournament.
Well, is there going to be light at the end of the tunnel for GODSENT? Will it be heaven or will it be hell? Angel's been having a great game. Indeed, he's on fire. Lucifer from Hellraisers has been looking fantastic. We're seeing if they can pick it up in 2 on Cobble after the break.
easy.